Another former USC doctor has been sued for sexual misconduct. We have reaction from the university, USG, and details about the lawsuit.
Protesters gathered downtown today in opposition of a city plan that may affect the future of county jails. We'll hear from protesters who are advocating for mental health centers instead of the jails.
A surprising new study about processed foods might make you reconsider what you eat. We talked to a health professional to learn more. Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
USC is facing new allegations of sexual misconduct. Good evening, I'm Noelle Medina.
And I'm Cecil Hannibal. These latest allegations involve yet another doctor who worked at the Engelman Health Center.
And that's right. The lawsuit was filed yesterday by 6 men who identify as gay and bisexual. They're former students of USC, and they claim Dr. Dennis A. Kelly humiliated and demeaned them by asking inappropriate questions and conducting unnecessary examinations in the Engelman Health Center. The attorneys representing the former students say Kelly resigned in August of 2018, but are now calling on the university to come forward with the truth. This is the second student health care related scandal to hit USC in the past year, and students say the shock factor is quickly wearing off.
I mean, it should be shocking, but at this point it seems like there have been so many scandals that it's just adding on to the list of things that have happened in this past year. And it just seems like there's been a lot of built up tension and stress within the faculty and administration of USC, and this is just adding on to that.
Dr. Kelly is currently listed on Keck's website as a part-time professor. In a statement released to ATVN this afternoon, USC Public Relations said, "We are aware of the lawsuit and are concerned by its allegations. We're working to understand the facts and care deeply about our entire Trojan family, including our LGBTQ community, and take this matter very seriously. We will provide more information as it's available." And the plaintiffs said, "We call on USC to come forward with the truth about what they know and when they knew it. We further call on them to conduct a thorough and independent investigation of these serious allegations and USC's failure to protect its students." And just moments ago, Junior Roy Pankey told ATVN that he went to see Dr. Kelly at Engelman in fall of 2017. Pankey said, quote, "I left my first appointment with Dr. Kelly in tears. I remember feeling confused and hurt about being slut-shamed. He made me feel incredibly guilty about my sexual practices. I didn't feel like I had a choice but to go back to him because he was the men's sexual health doctor." And just minutes ago, we spoke with USG's Director of Student Safety.
We are making calls for actions and demands that we hope will create the first steps to make USC an environment that is conducive for safe and effective healthcare services.
ATVN also reached out to Cal State Northridge for comment. Dr. Kelly is listed as an emeritus professor on their website. We will continue to follow this developing story. Be sure to check out USC-AnnenbergMedia.com for the very latest. Tonight, we'll find out the next USG president, vice president, and senators are.
Our political anchor, Sophia Hausch, has more. Sophia.
That's right, guys. Tonight, students will find out who will represent them in the new undergraduate student government, even though last week many of the candidates faced hearings for violating the elections code. But most of the complaints were underwhelming. 2 campaigns taped posters to lampposts and to the ground, which the code prohibits. Another campaign was acquitted of the charges that the language on their posters was offensive. The most recent hearing addressed complaints that campaigners had voted from other people's phones. USG candidates are not allowed to speak to the press about hearing proceedings, but the campaign stated during the hearing that they were just helping students access the QR code on their posters. One candidate said, quote, "They might have helped navigate with that QR code issue, but otherwise they've all promised they never once submitted a vote or anything like that." The hearing found that their campaign did not violate the elections code, and all of the candidates who faced hearings still have a chance to win later tonight. Back to you.
Thanks, Sophia. Well, Congress reached a border funding agreement last night that could prevent another government shutdown. President Trump said in a tweet tonight that he is not happy with the agreement, but is thrilled with where we're going.
I'm adding things to it, and when you add whatever I have to add, it's all it's all going to happen where we're going to build a beautiful, big, strong wall that's not going to let criminals and traffickers and drug dealers and drugs into our country. It's very simple. It's very simple. We're building a wall.
The agreement gives about $1.4 billion for physical barriers. This is far less than the $5.7 billion President Trump has been demanding for the wall. The agreement must get House, Senate, and the president's approval by Friday to avoid another government shutdown.
Some on campus have wanted to change the name of the von Kleinschmidt Center, also known as VKC. It's named after a USC president who was active in the eugenics movement. A new task force will determine how and when these names of buildings should be changed. The task force will create a process for faculty and students to submit concerns about the names of buildings. This group will not be deciding whether the names on the buildings will be removed. More than 600 have signed the petition to change the name of VKC.
Von Kleinschmidt, it seems, might be the most notorious figure for this issue, and he was a major supporter of the eugenics movement and forced sterilization of people that he called feeble and unfit and lesser for different reasons.
The Vice President for Student Affairs, Ansley Carey, released this statement to ATVN. Committee members were nominated by campus governance groups, Student Government, Academic Senate, and Staff Assembly. The focus is for the group to design a process, not debate historical facts. The 18-member task force is made up of faculty, staff, and students.
Governor Gavin Newsom laid out his plans for California in his first State of the State address.
Those families, those women and children seeking asylum at the borders are doing so legally. Those are the facts. This border emergency is nothing more than a manufactured crisis, and California will not be part of this political theater.
Newsom covered a wide range of topics, including his decision to remove National Guard troops from the Mexican border and canceling a costly long-distance transportation project to have more money for other transportation improvements. He also addressed protecting California's drinking water supply, improving funding for schools in response to the recent teachers' strike, and combating homelessness and the housing crisis. Newsom's State of the State address comes after saying he would not be a part of Trump's, quote, political theater.
Los Angeles is abandoning a plan to spend billions updating 3 natural gas power plants along the coast. Mayor Eric Garcetti announced that instead the city will replace the power plants with clean energy sources. The 3 power plants to be replaced are Scattergood Generating Stations in El Segundo, Harbor Generating Station in Wilmington, and Haynes Generating Station in Long Beach. The mayor's announcement comes after the decision to accelerate LA's transition to 100% renewable energy by 2029 and to meet its carbon neutral target of 2050.
The LA City Council voted 13-1 to ban the sale and manufacture of fur. Because the vote was not unanimous, a second vote will be needed before the ban can become law. People in the fur industry say it's not fair. This would put them out of business. West Hollywood was the first city to ban fur back in 2013. San Francisco followed last year. If approved, the Los Angeles ban would start in 2021.
Today, the LA County Board of Supervisors made a decision on the future of the LA County jail system. Our reporter Albert Quinn went to the meeting to find out more.
You may tell us that we should be caged!
Protesters gathered outside a meeting of the LA County Board of Supervisors to oppose the building of new jails. Dozens of people wore matching t-shirts as they chanted their opposition. Some believe issues of mental health need to be addressed.
So the importance of why we should build out a mental health treatment center is because that, you know, for decades, it's already 50 decades long of justice long overdue, where for decades many of our communities like South Los Angeles have been neglected, but as many of our folks have, instead of being treated for a public health issue, have been locked up behind a cell.
I think people should, first and foremost, not be inside of the criminal justice system because of a mental illness. We feel like we don't need no more jails, but what we need is other alternatives to keep people out of jail and start addressing some of the issues that these people are being jailed for.
At the same time, the Board of Supervisors voted 4-0 not to proceed with the construction of a women's jail in Lancaster. But in a 3-2 vote, the board went through with plans to award a contract for a new mental health treatment center to be built downtown.
This would not be a jail operated by the sheriff, but would be a treatment-centric facility focused on healing, operated by our Department of Health Services and staffed by the Department of Mental Health.
The LA Sheriff's Department had no comment on the matter. Criminal justice advocates worry a new treatment center might only be a jail by another name. For Annenberg Media, I'm Albert Chen.
Coming up next, a new study about processed foods reveals some important information that could change your eating habits.
We'll hear from a nutritionist that gives us some tips about what college students can do to ensure a healthy diet.
A BBC cameraman was attacked at a Trump rally. We'll show you the video.
And today is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. We find out what people in Los Angeles are doing to celebrate.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Boy.
スーパーカインドの交通機関案内。
When you ride on the bus or rail, don't eat popcorn, meat, or kale. Food can smell and it makes a mess. Keep LA Metro clean and fresh. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Super Kind will be there to solve them. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Super Kind will be there to solve them.
It's no surprise.
That's right. Even with places like Trader Joe's that offer healthier food options, students still tend to snack on packaged foods. So why do students reach for, say, a bag of chips over an apple? This might be because of accessibility and affordability. These foods are easy on the go and affordable for students with small budgets. In a recent study by the Journal of the American Medical Association, higher intake of processed food led to a 14% increase in early death. This includes food popular among students like snacks, chips, desserts, and ready-to-eat meals. This was a 7-year study started in 2009 and made up of French adults aged 45 and up. So, what can students do to make sure they are eating a balanced diet? In an email to Annenberg Media, USC professor Roger Clemens said, to avoid food high in sugar and salt, eat high-grain foods such as whole grain bread or high-fiber cereal, add folate iron and take B vitamins, and if you want to try to lose weight, he suggests the Mediterranean diet. With midterms coming up, it's a great time to start making healthier choices. This is Morgan Stevens. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Morgan. Well, today would have been Abraham Lincoln's 210th birthday. Our reporter Angel Viscarra is at the Los Angeles National Cemetery as the 16th president was honored.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation.
Today, the Los Angeles National Cemetery felt a lot more like Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The 26th annual Abraham Lincoln Remembrance Day saw an actor deliver a performance of the president's historic Gettysburg Address.
That all men are created equal.
The director of the Los Angeles National Cemetery applauds Lincoln's legacy of uniting the nation.
Think of the times that he had to lead through, the most divided time in our nation's history, and yet he pulled it all together and brought us back together. Great man, great president.
Following the address, people were eager to snap a photo with Lincoln, and I figured it would be the perfect time to ask our 16th president for some important advice. If you had 2 words maybe to say to America today, what would they be? Advice.
Down to 2 words, I think I would say serve others.
In Lincoln's time, you think the people are split now. I mean, imagine all the people that were killed in the Civil War. It would be a great thing if we could all come together and we can pull from the same cord and try to move ahead.
To this day, Lincoln stands as a symbol of a united America. For Annenberg Media, I'm Angel Viscarra.
Looks pretty windy out there. I think the weather's turning a little bit, even though I loved that sun yesterday. Did you go outside?
I went outside yesterday. It was beautiful, but you know,
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is in a couple days, and I heard it might be raining a little bit.
I heard that too.
Let's check in with our weather anchor, Heather. Heather, what's going on with the weather?
That's right, guys. If you have any romantic plans for Valentine's Day, I have important weather information. It could affect your arrangements. Let's check out today's weather today. It was a high 59 with nice 41 humidity, and for tomorrow we can see things cool down a little bit more. Onto the mountains, we're going to see a nice cool 40 degrees, and in Palm Springs a 66. As for the Inland Empire, we start to see a 58 as well. Moving on to the valleys, we see a nice consistent and constant degree. We start to see in San Fernando and in Northridge a nice 53, as well as Thousand Oaks, and in Malibu 54. Moving on into the downtown area as well as the beaches, we can see that at USC is 58, Pasadena 56, and the same as Pomona. As for Anaheim, it's 58 and a cooler degree in LAX. Rain can spoil your plans, but it can also hurt your income. I spoke to Pepperdine employee who worried about the upcoming storms. She told that if it's raining, don't go to work. It's too hazardous.
Driving from the west side to Malibu every day has been a challenge because our roads just aren't built for the weather. So when it rains and it floods and PCH is stuck getting rock slides, then the canyons are a completely different beast. So it's actually been quite a challenge, and on the days that it's raining so hard, we have to wake up early to see if we can even have work.
Mason Fultz already lost 2 paydays because of the weather. The forecast calls for 4 more days of rain tomorrow, Thursday, and over the weekend. February's been quite a month.
It has.
It's been too much.
Lots of rain. I'm ready for that, for spring break, for some sun.
I need that sun.
I
need
know.
some sun in my life.
I
right?
know. I do too. Well, a BBC cameraman, was attacked by a member of a crowd at a Trump rally in El Paso yesterday. That cameraman, Ron Skeens, managed to get video of what happened before, during, and after the attack that was spread across social media. The video shows a man in a Make America Great Again hat who has yet to be identified shouting at the media while being restrained. And the BBC released a statement today condemning the attack and calling for a White House review of security arrangements at future Trump rallies.
In custody for more than a week now, but it seems like things are. His lawyer announced that he will be released tomorrow morning.
And his lawyer announced that he will be released tomorrow morning. The rapper was nominated for 2 Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year for the song Rockstar with Post Malone. He was scheduled to perform on Sunday before the arrest. His lawyers were notified in the last 24 hours that he was given an expedited hearing. And coming up, we've got Sam Arslanian with our sports news. Sam.
Absolutely. Thanks, Cecil and Noelle. USC basketball is on a losing streak. We'll talk about how they can turn their season around with a few key games this week. And Trojan baseball starts its season this Friday. We'll look at their prospects for the first series coming up. Earlier today, we had about his goals for the upcoming baseball season. More on that when we come back.
Like. Guys, honestly, 5 more minutes. Like.
迷惑ボーイ。こ
こはなんとかしなくちゃ。
スーパーカインドの交通機関案内。
I see you blocking the aisle. That's a rude thing to do. This causes problems because people can't get around you. So when you bring your things like bags or luggage, put them in the proper place. That's metro etiquette. When you're on the train, you need to leave some space so we can go about our day. Don't block the doors or block the aisles. That is not okay. You need to leave some space, so can you please get out the way? Leave some room for the rest of us.
Men's basketball starts its Bay Area road trip tomorrow night. The Trojans will be facing off against Stanford on Wednesday and the Cal Golden Bears on Saturday. USC is coming off a pair of losses last week to the Mountain teams. In the first game against Utah, the team saw lackluster ball movement and poor shot selection. While USC did improve a few days later against the Buffaloes, it wouldn't be enough to edge out a win. Head coach Andy Enfield said the team just isn't where they want to be.
Well, we have to get back to what's made us successful this year. Play well offensively, sharing the basketball, and then defending. We played pretty good defense Saturday night, except in the crucial situations. Last 2.5 minutes, we made 2 big mistakes, which we hadn't made all game and haven't made in a few games. But when it's crunch time, we have to step up and make winning plays.
The Trojans are more than halfway through Pac-12 play. A pair of wins against Stanford and Cal could just be what the Trojans need. Tip-off against the Cardinal is at 8 o'clock. Trojan baseball is almost here, and USC will open up the 2019 season with a 3-game weekend series against Nebraska-Omaha. Let's send it over to Faith Bonds to talk about what's happening on the Diamond.
Thanks, Sam. Trojan baseball action is starting up this Friday. Earlier today, I got a chance to catch up with USC baseball outfielder Blake Sable to talk about his career and his team's goals for the season. How did you get your start in baseball? What are you excited about coming up?
I got started in baseball at a young age with, my dad played at Long Beach State, and my older brother ended up playing in the New York Mets organization. So baseball was just kind of what I grew up knowing. But coming to USC, I was lucky to get the opportunity from Coach Hubbs to come out here, and I'm with a great group of guys, and so we're really excited for this game Friday against Nebraska-Omaha. So hopefully we can get the season started right.
And what did bring you to USC? You talked about how you had a great opportunity to come here. What made you choose this school specifically?
It's definitely the culture that was here, the tradition. The students here, they're awesome. They love their athletes, they love their sports, and so I just wanted to come here and try and get USC baseball back on the map and put them back on top of the mountain.
Definitely, and you're talking about how, USC has had a great long history of national championships, and the past couple seasons haven't been as high for them. So, what has the team been working on the offseason to kind of bring them back up, elevate their status a little bit more this year?
So this year we've definitely been focusing on building up our strength. So, we have Josh Heidegger in the weight room who also coaches the football team too. So, we've definitely been trying to put on extra weight, get stronger, try to make it last for the whole season, and then just working on little things. And we have a big freshman class, but also one of the most talented freshman classes we've ever had. So just trying to show them the ropes and build a team culture down at Dato that we can be proud of and know that's going to be successful going forward.
Like I said, first game this Friday against Nebraska-Omaha. What can we look forward to this season from you guys?
I think we should be really excited as a school for our baseball team this year. My 3 years here, this is definitely probably the most talented team I've been a part of. So I'm expecting us to have a big year. We have an older team, so we have a lot more experience than a lot of people in the conference. So, I think this is going to be a high-scoring team. So we're going to have a lot of offense. So it'll be fun to come out and watch. And we also have some dominating pitchers on the mound. So, I definitely think there's some future big leaguers that you guys will be able to come watch.
USC Swim and Dive has a pivotal meet coming up this weekend. Following the losses against rivals Cal and Stanford at the beginning of the month, the team will look to turn their season around with a win over UCLA. USC will rely on strong performances from junior Louise Hansen in the 100-yard fly and 200-yard free, and sophomore Marta Ciesla in the 50-yard free. On the diving board, juniors Naomi Gowlett and Carly Souza aim to build on their strong scores from their last competition in the 1 meter. In the current Crosstown Cup standings, USC has 30 points, while UCLA has 35. This swim dive match will determine which school takes the lead in the year-long competition. Let's send it back to Sam with another poolside update.
Thanks, Faith. The #1 women's water polo team is on an undefeated 12-game win streak. They play an exhibition game tonight against the China national team and look to extend their streak to 13 this Saturday when they take on Indiana. The women of Troy also made light work of the MPSF honors this week. Both awards went to Trojans. Alejandra Aznar took the newcomer award, and for her 3rd time, goalie Amanda Longan was awarded MPSF Player of the Week. Let's send it back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Sam. I look forward to hearing the outcome of that water polo game. It's exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, Russia is under invasion, but it's not the kind you might think.
That's right. We'll see why polar bears have migrated into Russia by the dozens.
Hey guys, Danny Trejo here. There was going to be a whole song and dance routine about how you should wait your turn to enter the train. But they got me, Danny Trejo, to talk to you instead. Look, when you don't wait your turn to enter the train, it's rude and potentially dangerous. And believe me, I know a thing or two about rude and dangerous. I'm Danny Trejo. Don't be like rude, dude. Be kind, like super kind. Excuse me.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Russia faces a chilling reality, a polar bear invasion. It's not the first time these furry animals came to visit, but the numbers were striking. More than 50 polar bears were spotted roaming around the island of North Russia. Authorities believe they were looking for food, but it became a problem when the uninvited guests broke into buildings and peeked into homes this weekend. Officials plan to sedate and relocate the bears away from the small town.
That's cute, but also a little scary. A little terrifying,
just
right?
a little bit,
yeah.
Just a little bit. You know, polar bears in your backyard. Well, thank you guys for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Cecil Hannibal.
And I'm Noelle Medina. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Until next time, good night, everyone.
But those
Thanks for
bears,
watching.
though, I want a polar bear. I'll take a polar bear.
I want one.
If I could take one and put it in my pocket, that would just be, I mean, the best, right?
Oh my gosh. That's a good story.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hey, look.